I'm in Summerside, Prince Edward Island now, a small maritime town of 14,000, gripped in fear. Not fear of the unknown, but more of fear of the unwanted. Things just don't change here, and that's the way people like them. Most restaurants are closed, and if you can find something on the menu, it usually resembles steamed toast or boiled bread. There is no single women in the town under the age of 65, and marijuana is hard to find, very pricey, and of poor quality, the kind that would get you beaten up in other towns. God help you if you have a thought of your own in Summerside. God help you if you're intellectual or gay. Many of the buildings in this town are for sale or abandoned. Same thing with many of the houses. After all, who would want to live in Summerside?
Well, when you come up Granville Street, and that's one of the first thing you see emerging on the new development, it's not very attractive. It needs to be, it needs attention.
There has been a 3-month debate now in City Hall whether or not to add a new stop sign to Main Street. Summerside is a town with no history, no culture. No one can remember much more of what happened before last week. Most of the buildings that are 50 or 60 years old are torn down. As a matter of fact, most people couldn't even pick out Summerside on a map. It has the highest suicide rates in the world.
It doesn't fit in with the picture of the city that we want to see portrayed.
And simple things like a pair of size 9 work boots are almost impossible to come by. There is no discernible nightlife. Oh, sure, there are a few bars, but they only have 2 kinds of beer. There is nothing going on in Summerside, but everywhere you go, people want to know, where are you going? Where are you coming from? How long will you be around? A request to interview the mayor was once again turned down. A spokesman from the mayor's office said he's been to New Brunswick several times and he's seen tall buildings on TV. And we have a 24-hour Tim Hortons, and as far as he's concerned, that's all that's needed for a world-class city. Time magazine called Summerside the most depressing, boring place to visit. It is absolutely the worst place to do business because everyone is suspicious. Of what? No one really knows. Most people would say the best way to see Summerside is in the rearview mirror on your way out of town. Earlier this year, the Coen brothers swept the Academy Awards with their latest offering, No Country for Old Men. In Summerside, the opposite is true. Billy Pelican, CBC News, Summerside.
UPEI students will be heading to the polls again, this after a controversial decision to disqualify the person who was elected president.